So listen, I like this. Should school use electronic books, e-books, or normal books? Now listen, normally we put the abbreviation over here and then put the electronic books inside the brackets, but I love it. That's a really fantastic topic. Whose idea was that? It was Quraysh's creation along. Were you working with someone?
Yeah.
All right, we want to give credit to Quraysh. All right. He is awake and he is brilliant. Okay. Should a good student, now you use a, that means singular, right? Should a good student pay for the tuition in university? Ooh, wow, I like that. So, yeah, I like the question. And that's a great debate. So should a smart student who worked hard, got good grades in high school, should he have to pay for his college education?
They have.
See, look, we're already arguing. That's good. It's a good argument. And that's a good test. If you read the question and nobody cares, then it's a dumb argument. All right? And you shouldn't do it. But if everybody starts talking about it, yeah, no, then you've got an interesting topic on your hands. And that is a brilliant argument. Okay? Should teachers integrate the use of L1, first language, in ESL classes? That's a fantastic question. And this is, I'm working on my master's right now in TESOL. This comes up over and over and over and over again. It's a huge debate for people learning a second language. That would be interesting. I would love to hear what you think about that. Okay. And then, should teenagers drive cars?
Yes. That's it.
So, listen. That's interesting. That's a pretty huge question. And actually, teenagers means from what age?
13.
13 to...
19.
Well, no. Teenagers. You got 13 to
19.
19. Maybe, yeah, hey, by the way, I do like the topic. I might limit it a little bit to an age that you think is appropriate. Yeah. Who put this up here? Who put it? Okay, it's a good topic. I might limit it a little bit more to an age you think is realistic.
And also should people use the devices.
Did I read that now? No. Yeah, I actually love that too. So anyway, listen. I might limit this just a little bit more. I'm not sure we're arguing over anything. I don't know. Yeah.
Can we say should people between age 16 and 18 cannot drive? People between 19 and 18 shouldn't drive.
Now you need to create a question, right? Listen, what you're doing is creating your thesis statement.
Okay.
See, all we do is turn this into a statement and then state our opinion, right? Using a positive or a negative, should or shouldn't, and then you list your reasons. And hopefully we'll talk about that a little bit today. But I like what you're trying to do. You're trying to create an age range.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you should. I think it would be a little bit more interesting, right? And in some communities in the U.S., we generally, a lot of states will let 15-year-olds get a driving permit, and they can drive with their parents, and then when they turn 16, they can drive. They created that law so people who lived on the farm, kids who worked on the farm, could drive vehicles to help their parents on the farm. America used to be mostly an agricultural society. But today, you know what I mean? So now you kind of got this debate that's kind of interesting. So yeah, just maybe limit this a little bit more. And then, yeah, here we go. Should people use Apple devices or Samsung devices? Yeah, it's fantastic. I think you have an interesting argument. People always fight, especially these crazy Apple people, right? I mean, it's like a religion almost. It's like Appleism. And they go crazy with their Apple devices. And if you have a Google device or a Samsung device, they don't even let you in their group, right? It's a big argument. I pull out my phone. Do you have Apple or?
Yeah.
See, when I'm with Mohammed and my phone's sitting over there, he won't even talk to me if I pull out my Samsung Android system because he's such a Appleism guy. Okay, so yeah, people feel strongly about that. Hey, listen, a good essay starts with picking a good topic, okay? And the way to pick a good topic is think of it like a should question, okay? Create a nice should question and make sure that when you actually ask yourself the question, that you're interested in arguing it. Or if you were in an argument about it, would anyone argue with you? You know what I'm saying? If no one's arguing, then it's not a good topic. Or you didn't limit it enough. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. So listen, here's some other things to think about when you're picking a topic. Number one, you need to understand your topic. I mean, you've got to write an essay about it. So don't pick something you don't know anything about. Right? Now you're all thinking, well, great, but you're picking the topics for us. Well, I know that. But listen, I'm going to be nice and I'm going to try to pick interesting things, okay, that you can write about. And you'll have some choices. So listen, how can I pick a good topic? You need to ask good questions. Okay? And I'm also talking about understanding your topic. You guys know a journalist, someone who works for a newspaper, right?
Yeah.
They have to go out and what do? What do? Yeah, they sit down, maybe you're involved in something and they want to write a story about it. Ask. And you get really good at asking questions. So if you want to learn about your topic, well, ask yourself good questions. Okay? And you need to make sure you're answering with a good answer for yourself. And that's going to help you develop your paper. So look at page 15. Go to page 15 real quick. And what are some good questions? On page 15, number 1, let's see, Fatima, will you read this little paragraph right here?
Number 1?
Yeah, choose.
Choose a topic from the list on page 14 and make a list of questions. What is X?
Okay, hold on. Now, that's the first question. So anyway, we're looking at your topics. Okay? What is X? So the topic here is ebooks versus normal books. Well, I might say, what do you mean by ebooks, right? What is an ebook? Or what is a first language? Or what is... You need to define what you're talking about. Okay? It's the first question. What's another question?
What does X include?
Okay, stop there. When they say X, you just put your topic in. Okay? So, what do ebooks include? You need to tell me what you mean by ebooks. There's all kinds of things online. So, again, what do you mean by ebook? What do you mean, what does an L1 include? What if I'm born and one of my parents speaks Spanish and the other speaks Arabic? And I grew up speaking both. Well, what's my L1? What's my first language? See what I'm saying? So these are interesting questions. Again, give me the next one.
How is X different from Y?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you're thinking about it, right? How is an Apple device different from a Samsung device? You just got to be thinking about that. And that's really going to help you develop your argument. Does that make sense? Give me another one.
What are the problems or controversies associated with X?
Yes. So we really need to think about, you know what a controversy is, right? Controversy? It's a fancy word for what are people fighting about when it comes to your topic. So what's the argument? And there's a lot, I mean, it's not just one thing, right? There's many things people think are great about Apple that aren't great about Samsung, or that are great about Samsung that aren't great about Apple. You really deeply need to think about what are we fighting about? Yeah? All right. Another question. And then keep reading.
Then interview 3 people outside your classroom, your neighbors, people who work in your school, or your friends, and take notes on their answers to your questions.
Interesting. Now this is super useful if you know the topic ahead of time. Yeah? You can go talk to, for instance, I like this. Should people love the Colts or the Patriots more? I would love it if you went and interviewed 3 different people, especially if they were Colts fans. You should talk to 3 Colts fans, and then you should go talk to 3 Pirates fans and say, hey, why do you think the Colts are better than the Pirates? And they're going to go crazy. And you should probably record it, because they're going to get excited and spit, and, you know, and they're going to tell you why their team is so much better, right? And now you have a bunch of really interesting stuff. And actually, by the way, an interview, even of a fan of a team, it's considered an outside authority. See, because you're in love with your team, you know everything about them. So they're considered an authority, and you can actually quote, you can use them as an outside source in your paper. Kind of interesting. All right. So now, hey, the question is, how do we... So that's the first thing. Understand your topic, okay? And the 2 things I want to say again, ask yourself good questions. And if you have the opportunity, you should talk to someone else to get their thoughts and ideas. All right? Even if it's another classmate. That can help get you to think properly and look at it from different angles. All right? And listen. Really, if you're going to talk to someone else, you already know what you love, Apple or Samsung, right? You need to go find someone that loves Samsung to really have a fair look at both sides. All right? Then, take a clear position. So listen, that's what we did down here. When you turn these into a statement, for instance, who put this up here? Should schools use electronic books or e-books or normal books? Who put that up here? Quraish, can you turn this into a statement? And when you do, either say should or shouldn't.
Schools should use electronic books because
Yes.
it's easy to use and it's great.
Now, here's what he did that I love. And we aren't even there yet, but he just wrote a beautiful piece of statement. Or he said one. Good job. Schools should use electronic books. And this is what I love that he did. Because, and then you want to list your reasons. Reason 1, comma. Reason 2, comma. And hey, listen, we can do 2 reasons if you want. It's okay. Or you can do 3. But the point is, you clearly state your position in your should statement. And listen, I want everybody, just for the sake of doing it a certain way to be clear and to make it strong, I want everybody in their thesis statement, a couple things. I want it to be the last sentence in your introduction, and I want it to use a should statement. Okay? And it needs to list your arguments. Does that make sense? And we'll look at some strategies for writing to do it that way in like 3 different ways. So you can pick one of the 3 ways. But all of them should use should. All of them should contain your main arguments. Okay? All right, cool. And that'll actually help you limit your topic too. And we talked a lot about that.